everybody. This is your girl, LaRhonda Marie, and this is Under Construction with LaRhonda Marie. How are you today? I'm excited. This month, we'll be talking about different relationship type things. This is our Under Construction's relationship month. Since, Valentine's Day is just around the corner, thought it would be good to have just a theme for the month. And that theme is relationships. So I have a husband and wife duo coming in to talk to, kind of discuss with us the importance of intimacy. A lot of times we forget how important intimacy can be in a relationship. What is intimacy? A close familiarity or friendship, closeness, right? And so sometimes we can be intimate with some people, and sometimes we can't. And why can't we? So that's the kind of questions that I'm going to ask today. Their relationship coaches, as well as expression coaches. They have not come on as of yet, but I did tell them that I needed them to be on by 7:05. So I'm going to get some housekeeping items out the way, and hopefully they will be coming on. And I'm going to let them introduce themselves, and then we're going to jump right into the conversation. Just like every week, I want to just stress the importance of how important your questions are. If you have any questions, go ahead. Hey, Dimitri, thank you for joining. Go ahead and hit that share button. It's just as important. Just as important are my guests, so are you, the viewers, guys. If you have any questions on intimacy or any type of relationship questions, we have some subject matter experts coming today, a husband and wife. During the broadcast, you can send support to this page by sending stars, a digital gift that helps me earn money. We use our stars to hire more journalists and content creators while supporting our Black-owned businesses, hoping to create an ecosystem that brings about success for all involved. If you find value in our content, please go ahead and send your stars today. All right. Again, I'm going to go ahead and, ladies, if you are in need of branding, if you need to increase your visibility, Swag Her Magazine is the place to do that. We have several different packages. It just depends on what it is that you're looking for as far as branding, what you're needing. And so, guys, go jog on over to swaghermagazine.com and check out those packages. I'm just going to go ahead and let you know what it's about. So I'll be right back, and I'm just going to give you a little bit more information on Swag Her Magazine, all right? I'll be right back.
Swag Her Magazine is an empowerment and lifestyle publication for Black women who like to be real with themselves and in business. The magazine also offers public relations services and visibility coaching for Black women-led businesses, coaches, authors, and girl bosses so that they receive more exposure and grow their brands. To learn more about Swag Her Magazine, please visit www.swagher.net. That's www.swagher.net. Check our swag. We're more than a mag.
Check out our swag. We are more than a mag. All right. So if you're in need of, like I said, if you need to increase your visibility, increase your brand, find ways to kind of shake your brand up, get some ideas, Swag Her Magazine is the place. It's 7:04. Let me check and see if my guests are ready. Y'all give me thumbs up if you're ready to come on board. Thumbs up. All right. They're giving me thumbs up, so let me go ahead and bring them on. Hey, how are you?
Hello.
How are you guys doing?
Very well, thank you.
Tamina, I am loving your hair. I'm like obsessed with natural hair, and so I am just loving how free your hair is. I just recently started locking my hair. I'm like, this is like week 18, I think. So but I've been natural for probably the last 15 years. So I love it. It made me, I was like, oh my God, this is making me want to go back to my regular hair.
This is
So
your new regular. This
Mhm.
is
it
your
is
new
wonderful. I'm getting
regular.
used to. I am. You know what? I am enjoying the lock process. I really am. I really am. But I want you guys to introduce yourself. We'll start with Michael. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Michael. For the record, I also love Tamina's natural hair. Hi, I'm a relationship coach, and I help teach intimacy and embodiment. And especially, I work with Tamina. Um, I help sensitive men in relationship to feel their power and use that power to show up in a relationship and improve their relational dynamics to be a more pleasant environment for their woman and thus enjoy the fruits of that flowering of their woman through that pleasure.
I appreciate you for that. I appreciate it. Tamia, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Mhm. Yeah, so I help ambitious women to come back to their body, to open to their femininity, so that they can create loving relationships that fulfill them. Because so often we get caught up in like getting things done in life that we forget the importance of our sensuality, our self love, and being able to nurture that deep feminine space and be able to experience love on deeper levels.
That's awesome. Like I said, when I reached out to you, I was like, I love their perspective on, like, I've never heard it. So literally when I'm researching you guys, that was my first look at everything. Me and my producer, we were talking about it. But my question is, let's just talk about intimacy for a second. In your own words, either one of you can answer this question. In your own words, what would you say intimacy is?
Intimacy is the ability to bring your full self into being seen and being shared like a space together with someone else, like being able to actually bring yourself into a dynamic that shows someone else who you really are on deep levels and getting to share in that with someone else.
Would you say that takes a lot of time, or is that something that's like an instant connection?
I think intimacy can happen on various time scales. It can happen in an instant. You can have an intimate moment where you really see each other or you really see into someone. And sometimes it can take a lot of time to get to that moment. So it depends on how capable each of you are in letting each other in and also capable of seeing what is being shown to you. So
That's a good point, because a lot of times we may not be able to kind of take in what we're seeing. Would you say that intimacy has a lot to do with how a person can trust their partner when we're dealing with, romantic relations? As far as does it have a lot to do with trusting that partner?
It definitely does. And the thing that often gets confused is like the more you trust yourself, the more
Mm.
you're capable of trusting your partner because then you can trust the partner that you chose because you trust yourself.
That's
And
good. That's a good point. Because a lot of it, when I was reading everything from your websites, it just seemed like it still kind of came back to me. Like it's how I see myself, what I see, um, how I express myself, what I am ready to be vulnerable to. So a lot of times it just seems like when I think of intimacy, I'm thinking about two people, but really it starts with me, right? Would you agree?
absolutely.
Um, so I gave you guys a few questions and I added some more. So hopefully it won't catch you too far off. Let me see. That's what I was wondering about. You mentioned a type of woman, like an ambitious woman, is what you is how you made it, how you kind of explained it. Do you feel like ambitious women, or why do you feel that ambitious women have trouble being intimate?
Mhm. Well, for one, let me say I am also an ambitious woman.
Me too.
So let's start with that.
Right.
Um, So the question is, why do ambitious women need to support connected to their femininity?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's because we put our attention on getting things done. We put our attention on bringing our lives forward. We have goals and places that we want to go. So our energy has been very external of like,
Mm-hmm.
we're going here. I see this is where we're going. This is how we're going to get there. So our energy is very developed in that. And that's an incredible skill, right? Being able to see something, make something happen. But see how my energy is out here? What
Right.
about this energy?
Yeah.
So then the vessel, we get kind of forgotten in that pursuit of what's next.
That's good. That's good. What about you? You say sensitive men, or who you kind of who you have. What first of all, what's a sensitive man? What describe to me what a sensitive man looks like, or what would that look like?
Yeah, of course. What's a sensitive man? A sensitive man is a man that has a lot of feeling. He has he has a lot of expression probably as well. But a sensitive man, he feels not only what's going on in himself, but he's impacted and is conscious of that impact of what other people are feeling. And this plays a lot out in partnership where he feels a lot about what his partner's feeling. He feels it deeply. And often sensitive men are using that information to try and fix the situation. They're trying to they're trying to make it better because if they're feeling something that they don't like, it's not comfortable for them, they're very attuned to that discomfort. And sensitive men try to please the space. They try to
Mhm.
make a cohesive, peaceful space. And that can play out in different ways. But a sensitive man is essentially that man who wants to make everyone happy.
Gotcha. What is this is of course this is for you, Tamina. What does lost femininity in a woman look like?
Hmm. So when a woman comes to me and says that they've lost connection to their femininity, they're usually not able to make time for themselves. So it looks like, oh, I want to do this thing. I want to like do this thing for me, but I don't have time for it. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. So that's one thing that usually I see and hear. Another thing is like, I don't know my body. I'm not in tune with my body. Like I can't move. Like I can't dance. Like I don't know how to do this. I've
Mm-hmm.
lost that connection. Um, Also, sometimes they say that like they're not able to connect intimately with their partner. Like maybe their sex life has diminished, or they're
Mm-hmm.
feeling they're not able to like fully relax into being held by their partner. They're not letting their partner help them or support them. Um, Another way that can play out is they just feel like there's not really time for their creativity. Like they're not doing the little things like singing and dancing and cooking and things that it's not about traditional feminine roles. It's about actually the things that bring your soul joy.
Right.
They're finding they're
That's
not
good.
engaging in that. And
How do
their
you get
life is
them? Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, no, it's just usually it's like there's a missing fruitfulness to their life.
How do you
And
get
they
them
want
to how do how do you get your clients to tap into that? I mean, what are some techniques? What are some tools that you use to help
that.
that?
Well, first we sit down and have a conversation because there's something about just talking with me that the world slows down and that they can feel like they can finally slow down because that's the technique is like, can you slow down and feel like you're not missing out on anything?
That's
And that
good.
everything you need is here if you can just give that time and space for that for the nourishment to reveal itself to you by you pausing just for a moment. So a lot of the work I do is about pausing, whether it's learning to connect to your breath in a way that allows you to start feeling your body, like starting
Mhm.
to awaken your body. Like, okay, like yeah, we have wombs, but do you know what it feels like to connect to your womb?
Right.
Like, can you hear her voice? Like can you get to like the actual connection of like your genitals, your vajayjay, your pussy, however you want to call? Like
Mhm.
that's not just about sex and intercourse, like there's actual power that like we don't have the opportunity to slow down and just hear and feel what that is.
Oh, that's
So
good.
that.
That's good. Michael, how do you help sensitive men get their power back?
The sensitive man, well, I direct the sensitive man to where his power truly lies. And similar to what Tamina just described, it lies in our body. It lies deeply in our body. So finding our power is a two-part process. It's about relaxing that experience inside and relaxing those tense edges, but also experiencing us up against our edge and stretching it and feeling our capability of being pressed against our edge and completing it, finishing it, coming out alive.
Good. Okay, so Tamina, you help women through dance. Why dance?
Yeah, because first of all, because I've just danced since I was 4. Like dance has been my medicine from forever. But practically speaking, like dance connects the worlds of the mind and the body. And so it has a way of like bringing out like the parts of yourself that long to be expressed or like liberated. Like dance is a great tool to liberate yourself because you're feeling and you're expressing and you're being seen. So it's a deeply vulnerable and also liberating experience to move and to be witnessed in movement. So that's really why I use a tool of dance for healing and liberation.
You did say, I did read that you had over like 20 some odd years of dance experience and you've been on pretty big stages. As I've seen Victoria's Secrets, the Super Bowl. How did you go from there to here?
Well, I brought all of that with me. Yeah, but the transition for me, really, I had like a big awakening moment. We all have those moments where something breaks through, something breaks down, and you have no choice but to listen to like what is this moment actually teaching me to look at? And for me, it was like I got my whole face like blew up in acne. And for me, I was on camera, like I was on screens and on TV shows. So to be seen in that space, it was like, oh my gosh, like that was devastating. But really, it was a gift because it had me look deeper of like, okay, what inside of me am I not looking at? What hidden insecurities are now unavoidable because now they're on my face? So then I started to use dance as a tool of like connecting to where are my vulnerabilities? Where are my insecurities? How can I open myself to the truth of who I am and embrace that? So yeah, like I was on stage, but then I just turned it around and was like, okay, let me instead of focusing on how I'm looking, right? So I had acne. I couldn't focus on how I looked. I had to focus on how do I feel?
Mm.
So that's how that transition happened is like became less about performance and then more about like liberation for me, my spirit, so that I can open to loving myself fully, which then could open me to being able to be in love and relationship with my partner through that process.
Now, okay, how long have you guys been together?
4.5 years.
4.5. So have you guys always connected like this, or did it take work with some of the things that you do with your own clients?
I'd say we connected very quickly, and it was from the heart. So yeah, that set the stage for us to move through a lot coming forward after that.
So everything that we teach is what we have moved through ourselves. So it definitely took a lot of work for us to move through just so many, life throws different challenges your way because you're meant to grow through them. And
Right.
we were able to grow through our challenges and grow deeper in love and togetherness through learning how to face those challenges with the tools that we now share with other couples of like, how do you create a relationship that you can evolve through together? And you
Right.
have to be able to face conflict, and you have to be able to actually enjoy what's actually good in your relationship as well.
Right.
Can't be
Yeah.
just about facing. You have to
Right.
enjoy what's
Hmm.
here now.
Yeah. There was moments in our relationship where we discovered how to find love when we were in deep conflict, like in a fight, essentially. How to turn a fight into something that grew our intimacy, that brought us closer. So there's a lot of discovery in that. So
How
it's
can you give
finding.
me an example of something that you just how are you able to do that? How are you able to be in an argument, but somehow find a way to still try to be intimate with your partner? Um, how do you use your anger for how do you use that rift to make life better through intimacy? I don't know how. I don't know how I ask. I'm trying to ask the question
Mhm.
right. Y'all kind of understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. I'm gonna let y'all ask. It's like, how?
You wanna go?
I'll start.
Okay.
Well, there's a lot of little ways to do it, but it now culminates into what we call spiral dance. So spiral dance, I would say, is like the whole realm of possibility of making of making a conflict into something beautiful.
Okay.
So it has to do with being in your body together, essentially, and being in a listening space so that you can feel the energy of that anger. Someone can express that. Say Tamina's angry. She's able to fully express that and share it as a gift rather than as a weapon.
Right. Right.
And then with my body and my energy, I'm able to stand in my power and see her in that, feel her in that.
This is
And
this
the
that's
love.
this is cool. Okay, so are you? I'm, I'm trying to see how I can ask this question. Um, so when you are, because what I'm thinking in my head is like, if I'm upset with my partner, and we're being intimate, then maybe doing a role play during our intimate time. I'm trying to figure out how I could. I'm still trying to figure out how you guys are able to be upset with each other and still and use that uh, to be intimate. That's what I'm trying to figure out. If you understand my question.
Mhm.
So you okay, what I'm hearing is that you're wondering how to use that emotional expression to then have intercourse.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Because being able to be in that full expression is intimacy in and of itself. So we're
Right.
not sharing that for the goal of having intercourse. There's something else that happens is when I'm able to reveal like that truth of the anger to my partner. There's that deepening of trust. There's also the deepening of like when he sees me raw in like the truth, not like like violently at him. It's just like
Right.
I'm actually feeling this way. He rises up in a way that how do I say it brings out a higher level of who he is as a man, the
Gotcha.
deeper that I'm able to deepen into my expression as a woman of just like expressing the truth of the moment. So it's like that anger that I share with him, that I trust him enough for him to hold, he grows in his capability to hold it rather than him also responding with like, well,
Reacting.
back at
Yeah.
you, right? Then
Right.
he's falling, I call that falling into the soup. He's not holding the anchor. He's not
Right.
holding the pillar of the divine masculine. Uh, so that in of itself, after you finish that moment and you're like, and you see your partner standing there holding the pillar of love anyway, unconditional love.
Right.
You see each other in new ways. You're like, wow, I see your divinity. He sees my divinity. And we're like, we're in this together.
I see.
And you
That's
can do life together in new ways. So it's just a different expression of intimacy that can actually create that evolution together as you continue to trust each other enough to go there.
right.
Mhm.
Right.
And going there and feeling that success in that moment, the success of not turning on each other,
Right. That
that
part.
that grows that grows your trust immensely. And when
Right.
you have that trust, you can more easily go there over and over again.
A lot
And
of
when
times, do you feel like it's because of the way our partner may react to us is the reason why we may not be ready to go there, um, and be truthful and honest with expressing ourselves because of maybe the way we feel like our partner has, um, probably just reacted in the past.
That plays a role, of course. And it's definitely harder, but then that's why the practice comes back to us, to ourselves of like, can I still hold true to that truth of like, I need to express this.
Express myself.
Otherwise, I'm not true to myself and I'm
Right.
not true in this relationship. So this relationship is built on a brittle foundation.
That's
We're
good.
walking on eggshells if we can't trust each other enough to be truthful with how you feel, which means if you can't feel that anger, then you can't truly feel that pleasure either.
That's good. That's good.
and if you're
Um,
lying, if you're not sharing that truth, you're lying about what it is you're feeling, then there is no intimacy because you're not allowing yourself to be seen by the other. You're not seeing each other in truth. You're seeing a facade.
that's good. This question is for both of you. Do you think women and men should either be masculine or feminine, or do you think they could be both? Should be both?
Both.
They're both.
You need both.
Yeah.
You cannot have one without the other. So remember when I said ambitious woman who's connected to her feminine? I was predominantly my masculine. And then I also incorporated my feminine. You know, Michael is a
Mhm.
sensitive man. He came in more in his feminine and now he's rising in his masculine. So it's like the evolution of us as humans is being able to integrate both our masculine and feminine energies so that we can actually come together again within ourselves first and then in partnerships. You can't
That's,
come together without having both energies.
is
Mhm.
it easier for men to connect with someone than women, in your opinion?
What do you mean by connect with someone?
Um, to be vulnerable, to be intimate with someone.
Mhm. I would say it's not easy for anyone to be vulnerable. Vulnerability is, by its definition, quite scary. You're opening some place of yourself that's tender and sensitive. So it takes the courage for any person to be vulnerable and to share something they've never shared before or shared something they're not comfortable sharing. So everyone has their own edge of what is vulnerable to them, and that can be difficult for anyone to move through. But
Do,
yeah, the rewards are there for anyone who's willing to step into that.
I agree. I agree with you on that wholeheartedly. Do you think that it comes to that when it comes to relationship advice, people need tough love, or do they need to be eased into the truth?
Both. I'm definitely because I feel like when I hear tough love, I feel like it's the sword of truth, you know, like it's like that unwavering divine masculine of like this is what it is, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and it's still with love. It's just
Filled with
sometimes
love.
it can be cutting of just like, wow, I didn't see that aspect of myself, you know, and then sometimes we're dealing with a deep, vulnerable wound that's like it's already tender, so we just need a little bit of that sensitive touch, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Depends on the person and the situation. Having both tools allows you to wisely use them and choose which one is correct in the moment.
In the moment. That's right. That's it. How much does our music influence how we are in our relationships, you think?
Well, for one, I have to say all the music that I curate for spiral dance especially creates connection. I think because it's so smooth, and so it's like there's something about the rhythm. So for instance, when I hear house music or certain music that has like that consistent beat that's like this,
Mhm.
it doesn't make you dance.
Mhm.
But when there's a melodic storyline to the music and it goes up and down and flows, I find that it creates the space for your soul to be moved. And for me, I feel like that's very much connected to your ability to move through the different rhythms of life. And yeah, I don't know. There's so much to say about music. But
I would say music is very, very impactful. It touches us emotionally and it conditions us through emotions. But what is the way, what is possible, and what is expected? So music has a profound impact on everyone. So it's it depends what music you're listening to as well, and what message you're getting. So be careful what you're taking in,
Right.
and
That's
because
true.
that's what you're learning.
Um, I wish you guys could give us an example of spiral dancing. But I know you guys are in a small space. I it was one question
we can send you a video, though. You can share a video. We have some great
okay,
videos.
yes, send me a video and I will share that right immediately after this show. Oh, well, all day tomorrow. Because I'll be doing playbacks on this. Uh one question I skipped over. Your mission is to help women break free of their hidden insecurities. Why do you think women are so plagued down by insecurities? Ooh, that's a hard
Mhm.
question.
I mean, I think it's quite easy. I mean, there's a couple ways to approach this, but the first thing is like our world is really focused on what do we see outside. So we compare ourselves to what we see in front of us. So, and if we compare ourselves to that and we don't look like that, then there's a reflection of, oh, what does that mean about me then if I don't look like that? So the problem is we haven't put our attention on the way that you feel. Because if our focus was on how do you feel, we wouldn't be so busy looking at how do I look in comparison to this. So those insecurities take form because we haven't been able to learn how to embrace ourselves by the way that we feel. So a lot of yeah, a lot of focus has been put on comparison. And for me, my work is really just about how can you center the way you feel about yourself and how can you bring more love to yourself? Because at some point in all of our lives, we might have been told we're not enough. We might have been told we're not beautiful. We might have been told some kind of story that we're carrying on and on and on in all of our relationships. And each moment we're seeing ourselves through this lens of comparison. How can we shift that and start to own our throne and start to love who we truly are from the inside out? So that's kind of where I see it coming from.
Well, guys, this has been very informative. Like I, it definitely has helped me a lot. Do you guys have anything coming up? Like, do you have any seminars, any virtual, anything coming up that you want to let the audience know that we can try to promote for you right now?
Absolutely. So I just launched an app called Exalted Expression. So that's going to be a place for women to connect to their femininity. It's on any iPhone or Google phone. There you can really just have a step-by-step process to connect with your femininity straight to your phone. And yeah, I'm really excited about that. We're kicking off a challenge called the Feel Sexy Again Challenge, which is a 6-week challenge to feel relaxed and sexy and in your body and in your femininity, even if you're being seen. So you can bring that sexiness for yourself and also into your relationships.
What's the name of the app? One more time. I want to make sure I type that out. What's the name of
Yeah,
it?
exalted expression. So I'll type that out.
You said it's an app that's on it's on iPhone. Okay, good. Okay, I'm gonna add
Yeah,
that to. I have you guys' contact information at the bottom. I'm gonna add that to that. So it will.
Yeah, and let's switch up the website for Spiral Dance. There's a little typo in that.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's just spiral.dance.
Oh, okay. I thought I saw a dot in there. Okay. I'll get that corrected too. So spiral dot dance, and then I'll add that. Definitely add that. Well, guys, I really want to appreciate you guys for joining. This is Relationship Month, and I was so happy to find someone that wanted to talk about intimacy because that was hard for me to find.
Oh,
um,
really?
and the spiral dance was so interesting. I was like, oh my God, this is so different. Because my parents growing up, they would always, I was trying to figure out what it was before I had actually got into the website and started kind of researching it. So I was trying to figure out what it was, but it just brought back to me as a memory as a kid, where my mom and dad would just bust out dancing out of nowhere, and it just would just brighten the whole atmosphere of the house just by them. And I never thought about that in that way until I started kind of reading y'all's material and everything. And I was like, you know what? It does change. It did change something in their faces. It changed something just in the house, in the environment when you walked in the room and saw them dancing. So it was that's what kind of made me reach out to you, because I was thinking, oh, I can remember that feeling, and it made me do that with my own partner, and so I just thought it was just regular dancing around the house. But then once I once I got more into it, I was like, oh no, this is something on a whole nother level. So I really appreciate you guys bringing this type of perspective to intimacy. I think that a lot of people should be should be listening. So I really appreciate your time. What are y'all? Where are you guys? I forgot to ask,
Yeah,
because
right
I'm in
now we're in
Oklahoma City. Where are you guys?
right now we're in Los Angeles, but we
Okay,
have our main home is in the forest near Ottawa in Canada.
you said near the forest.
We live,
Yeah,
we live in an off-grid cabin.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. Well, again, I appreciate, please don't forget to send me that video so I can post that tomorrow. If you and thank you so much. I'm gonna let you guys go, and I'm gonna continue on. Guys, if you have any questions, please just put it in the comments. If they have questions, I might send them your way. I won't. I will send them your way so that I can get some answers for them. But you guys have a wonderful and blessed evening. Thank you so much.
You
thank
too.
you.
All
Take
right.
care.
Bye. Well, guys, I thank you so much for joining the broadcast today. I hope you guys learned a lot. I know I did, about intimacy. It is very important in a relationship. Intimacy does not necessarily have anything to do with sex. It's just about the connection that you have with a partner. And if you find that there is no intimacy in the relationship, then jog on over to the website www.spiraldance.com. They just give different ways in which you can build the intimacy within your relationship, within yourself, and then it'll help build it within your relationship. So, guys, next week I have another relationship expert coming in to speak with us. And so I hope to see you guys next week. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful, blessed evening, and be blessed. Thank you for joining Under Construction with LaRhonda Marie. I am out.